Welcome back, guys. This is King Weaves it, and this is when Naruto was off Otsutsuki part 3. And last time we left off with Naruto and Tsuki actually did stealing some jutsus from the scroll of sealing. However, they weren't able to master them before their 1 month finished, and of course they got bored of the of the missions that they were doing because they were all D ranked missions, and they did ask the Hokage for a C ranked mission, and the Hokage actually decided to give them one, and so Naruto, Tsuki, and Sasuke, and Sakura, and of course Kakashi do go on that mission, and after a while, and on that day, Naruto actually decided to not train for once because he doesn't know what could happen, and so he wants to rest up because he has been training a lot, and he has not gone too far, especially with the flying Raijin. Of course, Tsuki was hanging out with him, and she actually gave Naruto a tip. She told Naruto, maybe you should stop with the flying Raijin thing and actually just try learning the other jutsu he stole. What was it called, the Rasengan? And Naruto's like, maybe you're right. And of course, Naruto was kind of bummed out that he could not master the flying Raijin, but he took Tsuki's advice, and he actually started. Well, he didn't start, but he actually decided that he will be doing the learning the Rasengan next. Well, not next because he failed on one of them, so he would have to learn the Rasengan first. Anyways, of course, Naruto and Team 7 actually do meet up the next day, and they begin the mission. They were walking for a while, and just saying, Tasuno did not make any jokes there because they all looked pretty serious, except for Sakura, but he didn't want to demoralize them. And anyways, he'd take a team over anything, and plus he knows that these two are the two surviving Uchihas that are in the Leaf Village, and so he actually just takes them and takes the team, and he's like, alright, this team should be strong, right? Anyways, now, of course, after a while, Naruto does notice the puddle. Everyone pretty much notices it except for Tazuna and Sakura, and of course they do notice it. However, they don't really pay too much attention to it. However, Naruto does realize that that's pretty weird for a puddle to be in the middle of the pathway when it hasn't been raining for the whole month. It hasn't been raining. Anyways, of course, Naruto and Team 7. Well, Naruto actually is on guard, same as Tsuki, and as soon as the two demon brothers appear, of course the police has to come out now. But anyways, of course, Tsuki and Naruto are on guard, same as Sasuke. Sasuke, of course, wasn't as fast as Naruto as soon as the two demon brothers appeared, but Naruto and Tsuki were able to take them out easily. Of course, Naruto and Tsuki actually taking this mission really seriously because they know that this mission would pretty much determine if they're going to continue C rank missions or are they going back to boring D ranks. Anyways, of course they don't want to do D ranks anymore because it's super boring for them. And anyways, now Naruto and Tsuki, of course, tie them up and ask them questions. They actually take the lead. Kakashi didn't even have to do anything, and they asked who sent them, why are they here, and who they're for. And if they don't answer, they will pay with their lives. And anyways, of course, they tell them everything, and then Naruto's like, alright, what do we do with them, Kakashi-sensei? And Kakashi's like, we'll just leave them here for anyone to come and get them. I'm not sure what we could do with them anyway. Anyways, we're going back to the village, and Naruto asks why, and Kakashi says, well, you see, these two were Chunins, and even if you took them out, we don't know who can be after Tazuna next. It could even be a Jonin, and I cannot allow my team to get into a fight against a Jonin. And Naruto's like, but if a Jonin appears, you should be more than enough to take them down, aren't you? Wouldn't you? Since you are like an S1 Shinobi, you're called Kakashi of the Sharingan. And of course, they know about Kakashi's Sharingan by now because they did notice it when they were fighting him. And anyways, of course, now Kakashi says yes. However, you never know how many there could be. They could be able to outnumber us. And Naruto then says, but we're here, and we were able to take out two Chunin level ninjas we can still help. And Kakashi does think about this, and then his whole team starts pretty much knowing him about it, and they don't want to return to the village. And so he then says, alright, we'll take it, we'll do it. And anyways, of course, Kakashi does tell them that if a Jonin actually does appear, to not get involved, and he'll be fighting them because it's too dangerous. And Naruto and Team 7 accept the conditions of it, or the conditions that Kakashi gave. And anyways, of course, they continue until they actually do come across Tarzan, what? Of course, Zabuza does still use the rabbit as a diversion and then throws a sword at them, but they are able to duck it. And anyways, of course, Kakashi realizes, well, after Tarzan again, what the hell? Zabuza appears, of course. Kakashi tells his team not to get involved in this fight because it's too dangerous. This is an S rank shinobi, and of course his team is going to listen since they did promise it. And anywho, now Naruto and the rest of Team 7 actually do watch how Kakashi's fighting Zabuza, and Zabuza, of course, they were actually a bit on equal terms, especially because Kakashi could copy any jutsu that Zabuza was doing, even the Water Dragon jutsu, which actually Naruto and Tsuki knew, and they're like, whoa, that's pretty big, and it's actually bigger than theirs, and because they don't actually have that much chakra. Well, Naruto does, Naruto could do it, however, he doesn't do it because he doesn't see the reason for it. And anyways, now, of course, Naruto and Team 7 are still watching, and Kakashi does slip in the end and gets imprisoned, and he's suffocating pretty much. He's underwater, he can't really breathe. Naruto realizes that they need to get involved, and he tells his team that he'll take them, he'll be a diversion, and they'll have to help Kakashi retreat, come back here and help him get back on his 2 feet, because he does look tired. His moves did get slower over time, especially because of the amount of chakra the Sharingan was draining from him. And so Team 7 actually decided to work together, and Naruto actually goes in first. Of course, Naruto being faster than the whole of Team 7, of course everyone in Team 7 except for Kakashi, actually gets right in front of Zabuza's face, and Zabuza actually swings his sword, actually cutting Naruto in half. Team 7 at first was kind of startled that Naruto got killed so easily, however, it was just a clone, and it actually turned into lightning, into into ice. And yes, Zabuza was confused, and he's like, ice? And then the ice, of course, wrapped around Zabuza, and Naruto's like, alright. And of course, Zabuza actually broke out of the ice real fast, and Naruto was like, oh damn. And yes, Kakashi was out of the water prison, and Team 7 actually took him away from Zabuza, and Naruto was the only one there in front of Zabuza, and Kakashi's like, I gotta get back into the fight. And of course, as he was about to go, Naruto and Zabuza actually began a taijutsu fight. Naruto was actually able to keep up with Zabuza, and Kakashi was very impressed. He was like, whoa, that's mad. Mazzolini. Anyways, of course, Naruto wasn't expecting Zabuza to actually match Zabuza's taijutsu, and this just goes to show how much he's improved thanks to the sparring he did with Tsuki. And anywho, now, of course, Team 7 watches as Naruto actually kept Zabuza occupied for a bit until Kakashi was ready to get back into the fight, and he's like, alright, Naruto, I got this, and actually appears right in front of him, and Naruto jumps back. Of course, Tsuki says that was amazing, and Naruto and Team 7 actually watch on how Kakashi fights Zabuza, and in the end, right as he was about to finish the fight off, of course, Zabuza was saved by Haku. Haku, of course, tells them that he's actually a ninja, an Anbu from a ninja from the Mist Village, and of course he was searching for Zabuza, and they just made his life easier, and he'll take him back to the village to actually search his body, not search his body, but examine his body. And anyways, of course, we all know that shinobi's bodies actually hold a lot of secrets. And anywho, now Kakashi knew that this was fake, however he couldn't get into a fight with Haku because he did seem pretty strong, and he actually at first he thought it was real. However, after Haku said that they will be taking him back to examine his body, that was when of course Kakashi found out that he's fake, he's phony, And anyways, of course, Zabuza actually is saved by Haku in the end, and Team 7 actually does return to Tazuna Zone, and they are, well, of course, they actually begin their training. Naruto doesn't train with Team 7, same as Tsuki, they actually go their own ways to actually learn their own things, and Kakashi understood why, because they actually already knew tree walking, and Sasuke actually found that annoying. After finishing his tree walking training, of course Sakura finished, Kakashi actually started training Sasuke and Sakura in different jutsus. Of course Sakura gave up straight away and actually told them that she would go rest, and Sasuke then asks Kakashi to train him in the jutsu that he was about to use against Zabuza, and of course Kakashi asks, "Are you sure? It's a very hard jutsu again, please." Anyways, and then Sasuke says that he doesn't want to be left behind by Naruto and Tsuki, and so Kakashi actually decides to train him, and Sasuke, of course, wasn't too good at, no, it was really bad at the beginning, but over time, no, over the few hours that he trained with Kakashi, of course, he got better. And anyways, Naruto actually did start training in the Rasengan, while Tsuki went near a waterfall where she was training her Majestic Destroyer Flame. And anyways, of course, Naruto wasn't getting too far with it. He knew the steps, however, he was running low on balloons and low on chakra because he'd done it so much. And anywho, now, Naruto, of course, was on the verge of fainting, and he did not want to faint in a forest that he doesn't know too well, and so he kept a bit of chakra, just a little bit, enough to help him, well, escape a bad situation. And in the end, he does hear some movement, and it was pretty dark, and yes, Naruto is still talking to the thing, Inari. And anywho, now, of course, Naruto and Haku actually do pretty much talk for a while and become acquainted, and of course Naruto does have a precious one here, and Haku does have one too, and Haku does tell Naruto about the precious one if someone didn't know yet. And anyway, of course in the end Naruto had to return, and so he says goodbye, same as Haku, he had to go. And anyways, the next morning Naruto did still wake up late, however it was a good thing because he was able to save Inari and his mother, and then he headed towards his team. Of course, once he arrived, he saw that Tsuki and Sasuke were actually fighting Haku, and Kakashi was fighting Zabuza. Haku was actually a really hard opponent, especially even for Tsuki, and Tsuki is really strong. She's like the second strongest in Team 7, and still she was getting beaten, and of course she had different jutsus and techniques. For example, some jutsus that Naruto even had, the lightning binding. And anyways, of course they weren't doing anything to Haku, she wasn't getting anywhere, and in the end, of course, Naruto actually had to jump in, and here is where Haku actually used the ice mirrors. Naruto realized that these mirrors are really strong, especially because he could feel the amount of chakra put into it. And anywho, English. Anywho, of course, Naruto actually broke the ice mirror straight away and actually took out Haku by using a new technique that he actually had in his mind, but he never used it, and he actually worked for the first time. And Naruto actually created a spikes from the ground with ice, and he was actually able to break the ice mirrors and take out Haku from them. Not take him out straight away, but of course Haku created more ice mirrors and stronger ones and bigger ones, and Naruto this time couldn't even get through. His ice was actually shattered by the ice mirrors, and Naruto realized that Haku is very strong. And anyways, of course Naruto then actually had to use something different, and he actually used his wood binding, and he binded each ice mirror and squeezed them until they broke. And Team 7, well, Tsuki and Sasuke actually escaped from the middle, and Naruto actually did tell them as he was doing the jutsu, and this was all part of his plan. And then Naruto actually used his ice style and created an ice dragon. And yes, Naruto knows how to use the ice dragon jutsu, and he created it, basically the water dragon jutsu but with ice. And of course Haku saw this coming, and so he had to dodge. Haku is very fast and throw Senbon at Naruto. However, Naruto was able to create an ice wall without even doing any hand signs, just saying. And of course Haku was very impressed by Naruto, saying that Naruto knows how to use the ice release without even using any hand seals. That's amazing. And Naruto says thank you, but we are enemies, so you shouldn't be praising me. You should be scared. And anyways, Haku is scared. Of course, he does tell him that he is scared. However, he's not going to back down, and he's going to continue to fight. And anywho, now, of course, Naruto and Haku go into a taijutsu fight, and they're pretty much equals in it. However, Naruto takes the upper hand by actually using lightning release on himself to actually paralyze Haku's arms and legs, and in the end, he actually ties them up. And of course, Haku can break out, and as soon as his paralysis is over, and Naruto takes off his mask and asks why. After finding out it was Haku, Haku explains that he did it because Zabuza is the one that he loved the most, and it's basically like his father. And anywho, Naruto then just was like, then why didn't you tell me? And Haku's like, because I knew you were, because I thought you were going to hate me for it. And of course Naruto's like, why would I hate you for it? And anywho, of course, as they were talking, then Kakashi was about to finish off the fight against Zabuza and finish him off, and Zabuza was literally on the floor, about to get, not on the floor, but pretty much out of chakra, about to get slapped by Kakashi and killed. However, Haku saw this, and so he was like, nope, and he actually went in Zabuza's way, and he got stabbed instead. And Naruto saw this, and he was like, Haku, no. And of course, Haku then fell to the ground and died. Well, of course, died. And anyways, now, of course, Naruto understood why Haku did it. However, he was still pissed off that he died, and it was like literally so sudden. He wasn't expecting it. And anywho, now Zabuza then starts laughing, saying that finally that his tool served its purpose, and Naruto was very, 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 very pissed at that, and he actually blitzed Zabuza so fast that even Kakashi didn't see this coming, and there was literally steam around him, and Naruto was actually using everything he's got. He actually increased his speed by using water, and because he was so angry, he actually unlocked fire release without even knowing how, and of course he actually used steam release there, and created pretty much a smoke screen, and Naruto had Zabuza by the throat, saying, what did you just call him? Say sorry, apologize. And of course Zabuza actually breaks out of Naruto's hold, but then Naruto gets a kunai about to stab him until of course Gato appears and starts laughing, saying, oh, so you haven't finished the job. Maybe I shouldn't have put my trust in you guys. And anywho, of course, he was hoping that Naruto and the rest were going to kill Zabuza and Haku. However, they weren't strong enough, or they failed. But he saw that one of them died, and he actually congratulated them for that one. However, he's going to kill them all now. And anywho, now of course he does explain that he wasn't even going to pay them, and this pissed off both both Zabuza and Naruto. And of course Naruto was pissed off because if this guy didn't hire them, then Haku wouldn't have died. And of course Zabuza was pissed off as well because Haku died because of this mission, and that they took. And of course they knew it was going to be a dangerous mission. However, they thought they were going to get paid at least. However, after finding out that they weren't even going to get paid, this pissed off Zabuza to an extent that he actually went ahead of Naruto, and Naruto followed along. And of course Kakashi told Naruto to stop, but it was too late. Naruto was enraged, and his eyes were actually in different. They were a they were a fox's eye, and Kakashi saw this, and he realized that Naruto must be very angry, especially because he's letting out some of the Naruto's chakra. And even Kakashi could feel this, and Tsuki asked Kakashi, even Tsuki asked, could feel this, and she actually asked Kakashi what this power was, because she can feel something different in Naruto. And Kakashi explains, about the Naruto's and Naruto, how he's the Jinchuriki. And Tsuki's like, yeah, of course. And then Kakashi explains that Naruto is actually using the Naruto's chakra right now without knowing it, unconsciously using it. And Tsuki was actually kind of scared right now because Naruto could be taken over by the Naruto's, and she saw how much stronger Naruto got just of that boost that the Naruto's is giving him, just by using a bit of the Naruto's chakra, because of course the Naruto's has more, and they all know that, because Naruto's chakra didn't boost up too much. However, his power went up. Like, he was a beast right now. And anyways, of course, Naruto pretty much killed every single one of Gato's men, and it's, well, not all of them, of course. Zabuza took a few on as well. And anyways, now, of course, Zabuza and Naruto took out Gato together, and of course, in the end, Zabuza explains that he didn't hate Haku and he didn't consider him as a tool at all, and in fact, he considered him as his own son. However, he, of course, just it was just an impulse of him. He didn't know how to react, and in the end died next to Haku. And Naruto respected both of them. Remember, this is what truly shaped and formed Naruto's resolve, and same as Sasuke's. Like, this was their first ever true mission, and it really showed them what the ninja world is like, and anyone could die at any moment, and it really showed them something, and it changed them. Of course, Naruto finally got his ninja way, and Sasuke, realizing that the world isn't as easy as he thought, and it wasn't all about his brother, and there were other people stronger than him. Not only his brother, but there were other ninjas, shinobis that could even be on par with him, or even stronger than his older brother. And so, of course, we know that Sasuke started training even harder after this. And anywho, now Naruto and Team 7 do head back to the village after helping out Tazano build a bridge, and of course, once they return, Kakashi does tell them straight away about the Chunin exams, because this time Kakashi was actually bothered here because his team was actually very, very strong, and he saw a lot of potential in all of his team, even Sakura. But anyways, of course, Sakura didn't start training like in the original. Well, not like in the original. She didn't start training until Naruto was beaten by Sasuke and he was near death. And anyway, now of course, Naruto and Team 7 actually went off. Well, Naruto and Tsuki continued their usual training, and Sakura, who continued with her usual life, while Sasuke, of course, continued training with Kakashi. Yes, Sasuke actually decided to continue training with Kakashi because he actually wanted to finish learning that jutsu, and even in those 2 weeks, he did get very far. However, he wasn't able to master them, and master that the Chidori. And anywho, of course, he was pretty pissed off. However, he realized that he needed to train even harder, and Naruto actually got a lot. He got a lot further with his Rasengan training, and it was actually very close. He was actually very close to mastering at this point. He just needed to do the containment part of the jutsu. But anyways, it was more like an explosive right now than a jutsu, and it would just explode on him if he wasn't able to control it. And so he didn't finish the training. However, in 2 weeks he got very far. Even though in the original he learned, oh my days, yo, I'm dying. Even though in the original he learned the Rasengan in a week because of the bet with the Tsunade. However, here he learned it. He didn't learn it, and in a week. He's still learning it 2 weeks later. But anyways, of course, Tsuki actually gets a lot further in her training as well. Actually getting very, very like extremely close to using the Majestic Destroyer Flame, and actually being able to use it once, because even usually a Fireball Jutsu was easily overpowered by Naruto's Water Wall. And here one day Naruto was using all his chakra on his Water Wall, and still Tsuki was able to actually go through it, and Naruto was completely baffled because usually he thought that she didn't master it yet, and she was able to use it without knowing. Of course, she actually just went into her ramp. I'm joking, but of course she just used it accidentally, and even Tsuki realized that this was about to hit Naruto and he was about to get scorched. However, then Naruto actually created an ice wall right next to him, like right in front of him. As soon as the fireball got in front of his face, not the fireball, but the Majestic Destroyer Flame got right in front of him, he was actually able to protect himself. And anywho, now Naruto and Team 7 do meet up the next week, and here is something that changes. Kakashi actually is there in front of them, saying and telling them that, of course, the Chunin exams are about to start. However, one of them is not going to participate, and that one person is Naruto, and that is because Naruto is already near enough a Chunin level ninja, and he will actually be already passed to a Chunin. So Team 7 is just going to be Sasuke, Tsuki, and Sakura. Sasuke actually already knew about this because Kakashi actually told him on the training, while they were training, and of course he wasn't pissed because he knows that he needs to train harder, and he already accepted the fact that Naruto is stronger than him, and he actually wanted to become strong as him, and actually had him as a target of becoming stronger, just like his brother. But he doesn't want to kill Naruto. He actually considers Naruto as a rival here, just like in the original, but more of a rival. In fact, he's actually very fond of Naruto. And anyways, now Naruto's like his motivation, just like his brother was to him. And anyways, of course, Tsuki actually, everyone congratulates Naruto, but Naruto did want to take the test. However, Kakashi says that he can still watch the second part, well, a few of the parts of the Chunin exams, and he can even be one of the supervisors if the Hokage allows him. If you can, of course, the Hokage can pull some strings, and even Kakashi can pull some strings. And anywho, that is where I'm gonna end off. I hope you enjoyed it. Please stay safe. This was the King of Weebs, and don't forget to get yourself some good quality anime merch from Beautiful Halo. Get 49%, get 5% off on your next $49 plus order with the code MEME, MEME, and get 10% off on your next $99 plus order with the code MEMES, memes. And don't forget to get your good quality lamps from lamptee.com. And yeah. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Ratreet, Miniman123, and my friend Hxmesh, and also the second channel, DB Lover. And follow Shokiro on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, and join the Discord server. And the links are all in the description. All the links are in the description below. And peace, my doctors. You're dismissed.